What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, as per the title, the real reason why you're a loser. Before I share that with you, here's a story. There is a cosmetic surgeon, a surgeon basically that does plastic surgery, that sees thousands and thousands of people every year that come to him to turn them into the ideal, the perfect version of themselves, or the kind of person they imagine themselves to be. So, what this surgeon does is he takes the patients in, works on them, makes them look fabulous and perfect, and then something weird happens. The patients, while excited and exhilarated initially with the surgery results, seem to never feel that the surgery is good enough and they need more work done to be more perfect, more beautiful, more popular, more celebrity like. And what the surgeon noticed over time is that what a lot of these people are doing is they are putting band-aids on insecurities that they have internally, or lack of self-worth, or a bad self-image, and they're trying to resolve that by getting the surgery done. A specific example for that surgeon was when he had a patient come in after a car accident, and having had a scar, the surgeon removed the scar for this patient, but the patient internally was still very insecure about their looks, feeling very unhappy and uncomfortable, and pretty much still carrying the trauma from the accident. Now, the idea was that if the patient had gotten the scar removed through surgery, that they would be confident, more comfortable in their skin. Now, this example demonstrates one thing, that is, self-worth, having a positive self-image and confidence, is an internal job. It doesn't matter how many things you do on the outside, be it get plastic surgery, wear a Rolex or a Patek Philippe, put on Gucci or Loro Piana, drive a Porsche or a Ferrari, or live in a mansion. None of these things are gonna make you feel like you are accomplished or a winner unless you do the inner work and address the root cause of why you feel the way you do internally. You can have all of the aforementioned and still feel like a loser. You can have all of the aforementioned and then someone that has significantly less than you walks by and is happy and content, and it drives you insane. It makes you jealous and envious because they have lesser than you, yet they're more content and happy. And this is the real reason you are a loser. The real reason you are a loser has nothing to do with your accomplishments or achievements or what you have. The real reason you are a loser is because internally you do not see yourself in a good light. You do not see yourself as a winner. You do not respect yourself. You do not love yourself. You do not have confidence within yourself, within your abilities and capabilities. But most importantly, you are not grounded within who you are. You are not grounded within who you are. Now, what does that mean? It means that you are not comfortable in your own skin, and you are not comfortable with who you are. Now, a lot of the time, there could have been circumstances or events that led to this at a young age, or there could be a genetic component to it. The point is, regardless of the past, right now, the one thing you need to do, no matter what, is fix your inner self. You need to pay attention to that. And the real reason you're a loser too is that because you're always looking for something outside of yourself to compensate for your lack of internal self-worth, but most importantly, to escape having to face yourself and do the work and admit to yourself that you're a loser. You're going to go do drugs. You're going to go drinking. You're going to go buying luxury items to put in the outside. You're going to try to make friends with people that are the it people so you can feel better about yourself and elevate yourself. You are going to take vacations or travel to destinations that you don't really care about just to take an Instagram picture just to feel good about yourself, even though you don't want to go on vacation nor do you care about it. Self-worth is an internal job. There is nothing that you can do on the outside that's ever going to replace or fix a broken sense of self-worth. Back in the day when I used to live in my dormitory, a lot of my roommates used to take steroids. And the one thing I noticed with steroids is that it makes you more of what you are already. So for those of these guys that were already assholes, they became bigger assholes. For the guys that were more insecure, they became even more insecure on steroids. For those that were happy, they became happier on steroids. You see the same effect with alcohol and money. It magnifies whatever you already are. So by that token, whatever external band-aids you put on will only magnify what you are already internally. Today, you have a C300 Mercedes, but John over there has a E300. So wait a second, I can't have that. Why is John better than me? I'm better than him. I'm gonna prove I'm better than him. I'm gonna go get an S-Class. Then you go get an S-Class. You have the S-Class, you enjoy it for a few months, and then you're back to feeling like shit again. And then Bob over there just bought a Porsche. Well, excuse me, why is Bob driving a Porsche? I deserve a Porsche. Bob has a Cayman, I'll go get a 911. And you go get a 911, and you're momentarily happy that you outdid Bob. And then within a few weeks, you feel like shit again. You start to see the trend here. All you're doing in this scenario is trying to compensate for a lack of self-worth. And there is nothing, and I mean nothing, you're going to throw at your lack of internal self-worth that's going to fix it. And like I said earlier, you see this in particular with people that have everything going right for them, but they have zero self-worth or any good self-image on the inside, and comes along a person with much less that is happier and content, and it drives them off of the wall. Why is this person lesser than me, quote unquote, lesser than me, happier than me? It's very simple. They have self-worth. It's inherent. Their self-worth makes them happy. They understand that happiness is an inside job. They don't need anything outside of themselves. And anything that they get outside of themselves, it's just a bonus. And if it does come, great. If it doesn't change their state and frame. So, the real reason you're a loser is because you choose to define yourself internally as a loser. You choose to identify your self-worth as a loser. You choose to identify your self-image as a loser. You choose to identify with and exist with the moniker, the idea, the attributes, the characteristics of a loser. And you tell yourself that every day, every waking moment. You are just destroying yourself. And the hardest part about this is that it becomes a habit. It becomes a habit, and this is why it's so hard to break out of it, and at the same time super infuriating for somebody that is that way when they see someone else lesser than them, again, quote unquote, happier. They're stuck in the cycle and habit of identifying with being a loser. And they can't break out of it. They don't have that internal strength and fortitude, which is why they are the way they are, to break that cycle. So they blame everything outside of themselves, and they try to compensate for and mitigate that feeling of a loser, that feeling of lacking self-worth, or a positive self-image, or lacking of happiness internally, with external things. And that's why you're a loser. That's the real reason you're a loser. You choose to be a loser. It's a choice. It's a choice. You wake up every day and you tell yourself the same story, why you're not good enough, why you're not deserving enough, why you're not capable enough, why you're not happy, why you're not worthy, and you keep telling yourself that same narrative every day. Here's a very, very simple way to resolve this. 1, take accountability for your state. No one else is coming to save you or do the work for you. 2, consciously and proactively break the cycle. Make the decision to not identify with being a loser. Sit down and write out what kind of actions a winner takes. And what you're going to do is you're going to, on a daily basis, execute in a routine of these actions that constitute to you what a winner is. And this is actually a very important point here. What being a loser and a winner really comes down to is how you define either. If you identify certain behaviors or characteristics as being a loser, then you're going to be a loser. But another person can take those same set of characteristics and behaviors and considers himself to be a winner. So the idea here that you need to be very cognizant about is that, 1, you do have a choice on how you identify. And 2, is that you are the creative director of your inner state and identity. It's not up to anyone else. Perhaps in the past, certain things happened and you took those things to mean that this is who you are from a self-worth lacking, positive image lacking identity. You didn't know any better back then. But now, with this upload and hopefully some life experience, the ability to contemplate, you recognize that it's your choice. It always has been. It's always been your choice to choose how you feel and how you act. Nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. There could be a ton of people outside of yourself telling you you're shit. But if you internally believe yourself to be the man, that you are the best of the best, no opinion external to you would affect that state. Because that's your identity. You have a strong sense of self and self-worth. But most importantly, you believe in that narrative within you. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many excuses you make. It doesn't matter what you believe or how sad you feel or how miserable you feel or angry or depressed or jealous or envious. That's your choice. You make that choice every day. Every waking moment, you decide that you're a loser, and because you're a loser, others deserve to suffer, or that you have to unload onto them so you can make yourself feel a bit better. You're still a loser. Because nothing outside of yourself is going to change that state. Okay? Hopefully this has been helpful for some of you out there that are struggling with this, particularly those of you that tend to be narcissistic, sociopathic, or just overall bullies, or just people that overall are just lacking in any self-worth. Hopefully this is helpful. If you have found it helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, turn on the bell notification so you are aware when I do upload. Feel free to leave a comment below with your opinion or feedback or input. And also, I do have a one-on-one consultation booking link within the description box. If you do want to work with me one-on-one with respect to self-improvement, including your nutrition, workout routine, as well as wealth generation, feel free to book an appointment with me below. Otherwise, very much appreciate your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.